button. Don't stop believing. I put Panfong for this.
I'm a fact finder, and I'll remind you, believe when I say I researched this all day, but we are two-sided pod. You need to rebut all I say with all of your ragings. Tell me why I got red hair and tell me why you bitch and moan, it's all you do.
Oh, you do.
Now it's time to get drunk and go on stereo. That's the two-sided way. That's the two-sided way.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for tuning in. You are at the Two-Sided Pod on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific. Reverse that, flip it, rub it down, and you will know exactly the time you're tuning in. Folks, we are live on Spotify. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that alert button, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pastor, and tell them that it is happening now. John, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, buddy.
What are you going to do when the world's biggest arms get a hold of you this Thursday? Okay, I'm done now. Sorry. It was so much Mr. V fucking Backstreet that just, it kind of wrecked my life. Also,
As he's is wont to do.
I just, as he does, as he will, as he ever shall be. Yea, so as has spoken. Yea, shall it be passed.
We got a message here. Let me pop this real quick.
Oh,
We'll get into the show.
Angela. Hey, girl. Mona.
Girl. Seriously, you guys gotta do that.
I say, John L. Peacock got it his way. My boy P ain't nothing but a first time. No, that went wrong.
You're halfway there.
Right.
You're halfway there.
My boy P, he's chilling on stereo like he was in. Yeah, I'm not a rapper, but
You're halfway there.
I like you guys. You guys are awesome.
I'm
with
you.
Hey, thank you.
Heard you guys for the first time yesterday. I was listening on in and I requested you guys and followed you. It was awesome. But you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you do, you dynamic duos.
Awesome.
I love the Ginger Peacock. I'm loving it.
Oh shit!
You look like Supernatural's freaking not Dean, what's his name? Come on, Sammy! But you got a great personality, man. Keep doing what you do. Both of you guys. Oh, yeah. See you lately.
See you lately, I'm telling you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm saying, I may not be pretty, but my mama says I got good features and a real good personality. Giddy up, baby.
That's right on.
Seriously, one of these days, T lately, thank you so much. But that's what we come here. We come for good people, for good fun. We're here to entertain the masses as much as we are to entertain ourselves. Where it's like we were the small children who parents would put a dot in the fan, like watch that shit go around on slow motion. Like you're good for 6 hours. So if we can come on and talk some bullshit and make people laugh, giddy up, baby. I'm in for the ride.
So our Tuesday show is just an open chat. We just chop it up with whatever comes to mind, whatever people throw out, or they come onto the show. This Thursday, right now, we are about to pop into our two-sided podcast. Pete, you want to describe what that is?
Yeah, no, it's an active, it's a small, slow train wreck in action. Like you see it coming, you're like, don't go there that fast. And you watch till all the train cars pile up at the end. It's beautiful. But John will ask me, he has two topics. He calls it the serious, which is, yeah, it is. Sometimes it's not. And then he calls it the fun, which is never fun. And we need to realize what John's definitions and how Webster's dictionary and hooked on phonics did not work for him. Did not. I believe it's more of the ginger that hooked on, that made Webster's like, no, sir, we won't come to your house. No, sir. But then he tells me these beautiful research stories because he is a very intelligent man. His house smells of rich Corinthian leather and walnut. This man he smokes a pipe and has a jacket with little elbow leathers on it. I don't even know what to call them. I can't even get a word. They escort me out and how I can. But he tells these great researched amazing facts, these amazing things, and I actively try to derail him and give him bullshit the entire time. Folks, if you like this premise, if you can't believe it hasn't been had before, you're wrong, it has. Literally ripped it off from like 97 shows. But I feel like we're pretty good at it.
Dumb.
This is my first time ever listening to you guys. Mona Lisa sent me here, so Mona Lisa's plugging y'all.
Oh shit,
That's my girl.
But like,
Brittany.
I'm having issues because you guys are like organized and put together, and you guys have a schedule. And the last time I did a talk on my channel, I just talked about poop with random people.
Girl.
Oh no.
Girl, if I had a nickel for every time I talk about poop with random people, I would be a millionaire.
You are in good company, my friend.
You can't put me in a subway station without having a poop conversation with someone. Man, how's it going? You regular or what's going on? It is very off-putting for many of the commuters. I will let you know.
I don't think I'm talking out of school. And this is true. We had a poop conversation right before getting onto the show.
Yeah, no, we did. And it was unfortunate. It's like, hey man, we got 10 minutes. We gotta go. Hey man, I gotta go see a man about a horse.
Very active poop conversation. Yeah.
We actively bought a horse as a two-sided. We bought. Turns out we can't ride him in the free range. He's mainly a thought process like when you buy chickens for Zimbabwe.
Buy chickens for Zimbabwe or pigs for.
Yeah. The light at the end of the train tunnel is another fucking train. Also, getting it done. Good job, baby.
That's so great. Girl, I'm saying, John, it's all about like, all right, John, you can record this if you want to. It's the only time I'm going to say it, but sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're correct. Sometimes our best foot forward is our best possible path forward. Instead of me trying to burn the goddamn block down. Like, this is bullshit. I specifically said I didn't want salmon at this wedding. Like, you ruined someone's wedding. Yeah, but I didn't want salmon. All right, fair enough. But calm down. You extend the maple leaf or the olive branch. There you go. I instead give the laurel and hearty handshake. Fucking stupid. That's a long track for a dumb joke. Ugh. All right, pop that bubble.
Listen, Angela Cares is just the words. I love her. We all know Angela. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, preach.
Like I say, and I say this all the time. I said this yesterday on a live. I say you could put Angela Cares anywhere on any panel, anywhere, and she fits the part every single damn time. It's phenomenal. It's Picasso. Paint me your finest. There it is.
I'm telling you. See, I'm telling you. Yeah, no, that is Mona brought Angela in. That's why I was saying, like, truly, because John is so nice and so kind. Like, I have an edge, but John is like, he welcomes people. I'm like, I don't know about him, John, and then like I'll work into it. Like, it's a nice pair of runs.
Yeah, my boy Pete grows on you like a fungus.
Yeah, there you go. No, I wouldn't even go that far. I would say specifically, John, I'm very polarizing. If you are indifferent about me, I promise you I will change that. Give me a day. I promise I will change your indifference. One way or another, we're going to get to the bottom of this goddamn solution. They told me the answers in the bottom of the bottle, and I have not stopped searching yet.
I'm going to find that specific bottle. Bottom.
Bottom.
Well, my boy Pete, I would say that one of the most polarizing things about you is that you say that, because maybe the content of your words, the substance and the meaning behind your words might be polarizing if people were really paying attention, but it's only 10% of what you mean and 90% of how you say it. And you say it really well. So most of the time people go away with a couple of laughs and like, I think he's on my side, you know?
Yeah, no. When actively, I've taken contracts out of my life. I know where you live and I've seen where you sleep, and so God help me, your parents will cry when they see what I've done. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We're about to start the show. Wow, John. Like, we're off to a really fucking bang spread. I can't wait till we get into the shit that you have planned. Ugh. But can I have a moment? Can I have like a moment of silence for myself? And I can do a shot quietly with you. And we can quietly just do a shot and think about all the thoughts we've lost in the past. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. I'm ready. Let's do the goddamn show.
Howdy.
Oh no. I feel like my alcohol intake makes that intro either much more palatable or the most baneful, horrible existence point of my life. Right now, I feel like it's like drinking at the bar and being able to shoot every ball into the pool table. Like, I'm on the perfect level. Like, that seemed like it was 2 seconds. I didn't even notice your didgeridoo. I was focused on your kazoo playing, and I was like, that's pretty good. Pretty good. You should go on tour. Pretty good.
I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm my boy Pete, the man behind the curtain in Southern California.
And you're listening to Two Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the fun and the serious.
Yeah, the right and wrong, John. The me and the you. The yes, yep, and the no, John. No.
We got a lot to talk about, so we really jumped into the show quite quickly. I didn't get a chance to ask you, my boy Pete, how are you feeling? Let's give a one-word response. How are you feeling in one word?
Hi.
Well, hi to you too. I want to remind the audience that throughout the show, my boy Pete and I are live on YouTube. Our channel is Two Sided Podcast. For those listening live on stereo, you can pop that link above us. You can see our beautiful mugs.
Live there. You can if you're watching live, you're watching now on stereo, you can hit that link and you will see our faces. John likes to say our beautiful mugs, and I say, don't use the word mugs unless it's filled with an icy cold, frothy beverage, John. If it's a face of a ginger or a bearded fuck, don't say mugs. Just say, these are the guys that we recognize from the lineup. Just say that. I'm pretty sure that's him.
I'm going to jump right into the first lightning round.
Lightning round! Let me get down on the lightning round. Hey, John, haven't been back in a while.
Good to see you, lightning round guy.
You too. My boy Pete's been a real piece of shit. Hasn't let me out of the lightning closet. Lightning guy, we talked about this. We are now sharing the rent, sharing utilities. You take way too much energy, power for your lightning. I take just enough power, baby. right, but I'll pay you next week when I get my paycheck. Okay, okay. John, we ready?
Oh, lightning round guy. I'm always with you. I think my boy Pete got a little offended when you told him in our last episode when we talked about lightning that you were the same person. I think he didn't take it kindly. He didn't like it.
That's it. The whole thing. He's playing games now because once I subjugated him to a closet and I'm making him pay bills, like you're no longer suckling off the tea of the two-sided pod in the My Boy Pete house. No, sir. You will carry your own weight. He got very upset. What is that? Nothing. We'll talk later. See? All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't know what to do anymore. Anyway.
Well, anybody who's anybody knows that the first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so ready, John. I've been up for 2 nights studying for dumb random questions, and I hope you ask the right ones that I've studied for. Ready? Go.
When was the first time you held a gun?
You son of a bitch. What the fuck are you doing to me? Like, hey, if you're a cop, you got to tell me you're a cop, right? That's a law. Fuck you, John. Are you trying to actively tell me? Like, you know how I grew up. Like, I grew up farm and then street. Like, I didn't have any middle ground in the whole beautiful. Okay, the first time I held a gun was maybe 6, 5, 6,
Yep.
7, 6, 6. I'll go 6. 6.
Remember what kind it was?
22.
Okay.
100% bolt action. It was like what guns should be. If you're using them on the farm, these are the guns you have on the farm. I got very comfortable with guns on the farm.
Would you consider an air rifle a gun, or is that like not
No, that's
the same
a toy.
thing?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
not at all. John, I have a BB to this day lodged in the back of my head.
Oh,
When we were 14, that was when airsoft rifles were pretty fun and cool. And so we pre-paintball. So you'd put on like welder goggles or a welder mask or a fucking thing, and you'd run around the backyard and shoot BB guns at each other. Or pellet guns. Like if you had the one that was just one click, no problem. But if you had the one that was pumped up, you have an asshole playing with you. And like, there's 6 or 7 dudes. I got a BB in the back of the head. And like, I'm bleeding, but I can't tell my mom. I can't tell anyone. Like, then everything's fucked. I can't play anymore. It got to be fine. Totally fine. 100%
right.
fine.
Yeah.
But it's a BB. And I was like, eventually when I got the adult, I looked it up. And like, it's not going to cause brain cancer. Is this the way? No, this is the way I am. I left it there. It grew over. I have a lump where it's literally a BB in the back of my head. When I did have a CT scan for a head injury, they're like, you got a little lump there. You should take that out. I was like, no, it's fine. That's what gives me my power. I'm like Samson with BBs. They didn't get it because they weren't religious.
That was a weird answer for the first question. Moving on.
Lightning round.
Were there any communal traditions that involved guns in your life? I'll preface this. My family had them, so like, you know, I'm not trying to hang you out to dry. Were there any communal traditions that involved guns in your life?
No, okay. That's weird. Then no, I know you're not hanging out because I was an easy answer, and your family's weird then. So no.
Yeah. Well, we're from Arizona, the Wild West. We went out shooting in the desert on Christmas, like a couple of times. Anyway, yeah. How many times have you shot a gun inside a shooting range? Like a guesstimate?
Inside a shooting range?
Yeah. Like you went to a shooting.
Indoors.
Yeah, the shooting range. Right.
Never.
How about an outside one? How about outside of one? So not in one.
At least 50, 60, 100.
Farm
over
life.
100. Over 100. Farm life, but then like, all right, once you realize, okay, so move on, and now like, where can we go shoot guns? Out in the hills. You go to BLM land, you go to you're around management, you go way out and like, cool. Like
the white tanks at the desert out in Arizona. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So inside, I have to give you my ID and you have cameras and I'm doing this and this and I'm doing, no.
And final question of our lightning round, which will lead us into our first segment of the episode. Recite, if you can, the first phrase of the Second Amendment.
Yeah. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, because thy rod and thy compass comforts me. You have the right to bear arms. In that I mean grizzly, panda, any koala, possibly a polar. Comfort thee as they will. Yea, so it is spoken, yea, so it should be told. Did I nail it? Did I get it?
You got 100%, man.
Yeah, cool. I love the amendments. Like, we should do more amendment talk because bro, Sixth Amendment, I'm pretty good on. 14th, I'm your guy. But let's focus right now.
I think sometimes you confuse amendments and commandments, but that's all right. We're fine.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, the 14th commandment, ridiculous. Thou shalt pay my boy Pete 10% of thy commission. From any job thou shalt do.
So it is said.
Tithe, so shall it be done. Bro, I'm telling you. Commandments, testaments, whatever. Like, they're all equal to amendments.
Yeah.
It's a naming convention, John. I call you Johnny Two Thumbs now. You have a reputation here in Southern California as a guy who doesn't take any shit. Johnny Two Thumbs coming to town, you're in for a goddamn problem. It's all about branding. Johnny Two Thumbs. Oh, it's the amendment. Call it an amendment. Oh shit.
That's great. That's probably going to get me a lot of respect or a little bit of shooting me. But cool. Yeah. Great. All right.
100%. 6-1. 1,400 or another. I don't do math well, John.
You ready for the first segment?
Oh, no, I'm actively not because I see where it's going and I don't like it. But yeah, let's play your goddamn stupid game. I like one of my favorite things, John. I know we shouldn't because we have these talks in our fucking post show meetings, like not behind the curtain. My boy, he behind the curtain. We talk. Don't show we're doing it. Yeah, John, we lost all the listeners when we started getting serious or start talking about things, and then we pulled up a fucking mind fox who's truly. So I'm good to go. I'm ready. Shh. Okay, back to the show, folks. Let's head out. 3, 2, 1.
Now that we've alienated all audiences whatsoever, let's talk about the Second Amendment.
Boo this man. Fuck you. John, are you actively trying to make enemies? Because I know you have opinions. I know I have opinions. I know you're going to fucking just read facts, which will be aggressively polarizing because people don't like facts and facts are like, that's not true. Like, yeah, it is. John, you're trying to be a John Oliver that you're not. You're Johnny Two Thumbs. And if you don't watch it, those two thumbs are going right in your fucking eyes, John. Right in your fucking eyes, John. Let's talk about it, amendment. Let's talk about the commandment.
A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed, period. That's it. That's the entire amendment.
Right. It reminds me a lot of, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or in the earth beneath or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow to thyself, to them, nor serve them. And I feel like there was a really bad use of commas. They didn't understand commas back then. Like it was like I would I'd be like, hey God, I'm gonna need you to go back. This is like a C plus at best. We are hinging on a run-on sentence. I'll be honest. If you can think about the whole Jesus wept thing, the brevity, like pull that into this.
Pure Hemingway right there. And Jesus wept. 3-word story. Done.
Right? Yeah. Right? Fuck yo couch. That's what I say to you every Thursday. 8 p.m. Pacific. Eastern. John. No, I'm ready. That's what this says. A well-regulated militia.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then, so therefore, and people use that because there must be militias then. There has to be militias. Okay. So we have to have militias because they say it. They forget about them in the well-regulated part. I don't think there has to be militias. I don't think if there is, then it has to be well-regulated. Like it needs to be like, all right, we got the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Salvation Army, farmers only, fans only. All of them are regulated, John, right? So you get like, all right, if you want to be a militia, fair enough. Do your dastardly deeds. Be your own army that's doing the good or doing the bad. Be quiet about it and stay in your own fucking goddamn compound. And you register. Everyone has their IDs here. It's like a fishing license. Come on in. We know who you are every year. I'm part of a militia. Which one? Oh, we got our eye on you, boy. All right, have fun. Come on, man. Come on, John.
Right.
Well regulated, my ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just read the amendment itself. We haven't even gotten into the. Okay. So, as a part of the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment is shrouded in a benevolent mist. The mist obscures more than it enlightens. The truth is that the Second Amendment was largely a response to Southern interests who feared slave revolts. Slaveholders wanted the firepower through militias to repress slave uprisings. So James Madison crafted the Second Amendment to strike a balance. He believed a strong central government was necessary, but he also wanted to assuage pro-slavery interests. So Southerners feared the federal government would try to destroy slavery, and Madison was determined to keep the South on board with the states. So Patrick Henry and George Mason led the Southern advocacy, and they threatened to shatter the Union if this amendment wasn't in. And Madison had it done.
Okay, who are the guys who were working with Madison?
Well, they didn't work with him. He did it.
He did it himself. Oh no, okay. I misunderstood. You're reading, not explaining. So Madison was like, no, fuck you. We got to keep shit as it is. So if people get all fucking rowdy, I can put hands on a motherfucker. And 2 other people came up. You said that you're not giving me names. You're trying to explain to me. So just giving me the names. I want to write down 2 names.
Patrick Henry.
Henry, there he is.
And George Mason.
Yeah, Mason. Yeah. Yeah.
Who
Mason
led the Southern advocacy. Yeah.
Wait, so am I misunderstanding?
So these guys were slavers. They're of the South.
Yeah,
they were saying,
right.
We need to protect ourselves from any slave uprising with the ability to bear arms at all times. And Madison created the Second Amendment to appease them so that the Union would survive these initial years during the Constitution and creation.
No, I get it. Like the whole thing is you're not good at explaining things, or I'm not good at listening, or maybe just maybe this is a little too much for you. I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out. We're just spitballing. Go on. So Henry and Mason were like, hey, if you don't do this thing, And Matt's like, all right. Well regulated. How about that? You get a militia with bear arms. All right? Henry and Mace's like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why they got Australian accents right there, but I feel like every criminal who does some shit is like, right, fuck, here's what we need, right? We're going to need fucking bear arms and militias, all well regulated. Well, I don't think that's good. And how come now Madison's English, John? This is all American. These are all drungos like you and me.
Well, maybe they're Southern Australian and Southern England. So then, they're from the South. It's fine.
I don't like that. I don't like to play games. I like to think about the real truth. I'm going to stay up at night. Matt's like, hey, you guys, you shouldn't do that. And Henry and Mason like, yeah, well, we like guns. And also we want to protect ourselves with guns. Like, you guys are assholes. And Mason's like, whoa, your fucking mom's an asshole. I'm not going to fucking join this fucking union if you don't give me my goddamn militia. And then Henry's like, yeah, what he said. And that is how American history is made. Conjunction, what's your function? Henry Mason and Mason fucking up Madison.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, that's basically how it went. So the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, but it wasn't until about 14 years ago that the Supreme Court read into it as a right to use weapons for self-defense and declared a gun control law unconstitutional. So not too far back in our history when it was first used in this way.
I'm going to pop up. Now, you keep going. You said 14 years ago. Focus on that. Keep going. I've already stopped the show so much for different jokes. Let's let you where we're going. 14 years ago. That's not.
So for most of American history, federal courts left gun regulation to the democratic debate. Judges understood the Second Amendment to safeguard the right of free states and maintain well-regulated militias, and to use guns in connection with militia service, a view the Supreme Court expressed in 1939.
So one of the issues, as someone who just came into trying to understand and talk to you people about politics and all the bullshit in the last couple of years, like when people are like, oh, it's red, it's blue, it's a this, it's a that. My problem is I'm very difficult with the names, and our whole country is bad on naming our naming situation and how our convention works. Because, hear me out, John, right?
Yep.
At this part in life, we are a two-party system, yes or no?
Yes.
Democrat and Republican, yes? So
Yes.
there's two specific parties, right? We're named, we're classified, you get in this corral, you get in this corral. And then someone comes up on a podium and says, well, you know what? The Democratic debate is also hashed here. Like, you mean those guys? He said, what do you, so we're talking about those guys? And it took me like years to understand every time, this is a republic. Like we're Republicans. The
Right.
Democrat, God damn it. Why can't you use better words or more explanatory phrases? You're lazy as shit when it comes to linguistics and linguiça. I love that fucking sausage. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, sorry.
Have it with a little bit of linguine. It's fantastic.
Oh my God, John, have you been there? Have you been? Hey, here at Salducci's, we got linguini, linguiça, linguistics. Hey, no problem. It's a Democratic convention with the Democratic Convention Party. Also, the Democrats are here, no problem. We're a republic, also serving Republicans. Come on down. Your linguiça's on us. Jesus Christ, John knows something.
Even as recently as the late 80s, 90s, prominent conservatives agreed that the court shouldn't be involved with any regulations. So Robert Bork, was yeah, right, a major conservative legal movement and staunch originalist. Explained that in
horrible beard. Anyone who's listening now, look him up online. Look at his picture. Like, that man should not wear that beard. It was not okay. Maybe if he was in Mennonite country, he could have raised the barn correctly. But now you're in government and giving policy. Fuck off, Borg. Sorry. Continue, John.
Right, and that just goes to show the point that I'm about to make. Explained in 1989 that the Second Amendment's, quote, intent was to guarantee the right of states to form militia, not for individuals to bear arms, end quote. And in 91, Bork repeated his view that the Second Amendment protected, quote, people's right to bear arms in a militia. He goes on. So the NRA thinks that it protects their rights to have Teflon-coated bullets, but that's not the original understanding, end quote. And this is Bork. This is the guy that is basically a prick and basically everything else.
Yeah, 100%. But here's the deal. This is why it's so confusing for me when we put names to things. Like, I'm a big picture guy, John, right? People call me in the two-sided pod, they call me the idea man. Hey, idea man. I get high fives down the street. Hey, two-sided idea guy. All of that. It's a beautiful, beautiful existence. I don't have to worry about the minutia, the comings and the goings of all the characters of our show. I just get to make fun of them. And this is when it gets political. Like, he's bad, but he's good now. But he was good, but he's bad now. Like, I'm having a hard time following you. And it could be because I'm not dumb. Well, it could be because I'm dumb. It could be because I've been drinking. It could be because of all the cough syrup we drank before the show started. Who knows? One time ago.
This is all to show that the reason that why for more than 2 centuries this view governed American law and not a single federal case struck down gun law on the Second Amendment grounds for over 200 years. Everyone basically agreed that's what this law meant until 2008.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying everyone agreed until Bork said it doesn't.
No, he was saying it does
again,
not protect.
John, that's why I need you to look at me and explain this instead of you reading things. Like, because you're like, no, what this means is essentially, and you try to skip through and read things. Tell me what you're telling me. I don't understand the timeline. Just look at me and talk to me.
Cool. So Bork in 89 and 91, as a staunch conservative Republican and originalist, said
guns.
Right, said that the Second Amendment. No, I'm not. He said that the Second Amendment does not all about guns and individual rights. It's only about state militia. About state militia.
Right. So Bork said, the fucking stauncher said, fuck your gun, personal rights. If a state says it, yes. If you, as Joe Schmo, Johnny Two Thumbs, no.
Right. And that was his view, and kind of reflected the general view of even the conservatives. So everyone basically had the view of it was about a militia until 2008, and that's when things shifted dramatically.
And then in 2008,
5 Republicans appointed justices at the Supreme Court asserted that they had discovered the original meaning of the Second Amendment and used it to invalidate a law restricting handgun possession.
Oh my God. Were any of those, and I know the answer to this, but were any of those Mormons? Because did any of them discover any golden plates and they discovered the true meaning of the Bible? Whoa, we have new things. The angel Moroni came onto me and told me, hallelujah, fuck yeah, guns in your goddamn hands.
Yeah, basically. They were. Yeah.
Bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Honestly, we can character assassinate one by one as we go through, or we can let's take the high road, John. Let's be the better people. You know what?
Yeah.
How about that? We don't have the best looking faces. We don't have the highest paying jobs. We don't have the most supportive families. We don't have the best podcasts or the.
We have
I'm not done
faces
yet,
that were just
John.
made
I'm
for
not
AM
done yet.
radio.
Had to get that joke in there. So yeah, faces for AM radio. There you go. Anyway, continue.
Until recently, prominent conservatives agreed.
2008 until recently. Let's go back and honestly keep talking like a normal human being. 2008 is when it happened, correct?
So it's the case of District of Columbia v. Heller. This is the landmark case, right?
Heller? Oh shit! I know about Heller. Go ahead.
So involves a challenge.
2008. Are you going to tell us when it was or not?
That was 2008. This is the case. This is what I'm talking about. This is what changed everything. Heller.
Oh, thanks for participating in the conversation. 2008 Heller case when it changed everything. See how it worked when we talk?
Yeah.
Instead of you reading, we explain, we talk instead of. We're doing so good. 2008 Heller.
Okay, so going off script and just talking. It was a dispute against a law in the District of Columbia, barring all handguns, even in the house. And this is a big distinction. And this was what the conservatives who went with Heller and not DC used in the house.
So the law in 2008, state versus Heller, District of Columbia, not state, because they're not a state, that's a time for another show, why they're not a state, which is bullshit.
Right.
However, I digress, because I know you're going to bullshit me on that. State versus, well, it's not actually state, it's District of Columbia. Fuck you, John. So if I say state from now on, can you please shut the fuck up and understand what I'm doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So what you're saying is at this point, state versus Heller was the case in 2008 where it was they outlawed guns, period, where they took them out like New Zealand, but New Zealand has in different areas. If you have the license, if you're a specific regional area, if you're agriculture, if you're on the farm, if you're having things, yes. Sydney, no. Same with Australia. There's specific regulations. So they tried to do that in the District of Columbia. And Heller said, or had a gun, and they did the thing, and they went to the thing and the thing. Right? Is that correct or no?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. Now we have the fucking facts. Continue your story. I just want to understand halfway through.
So if someone had a gun legally at the house, they would have to keep it unloaded, disassembled, and bound by a lock, some kind of trigger lock. So unusable without a major shift, right? And that was the big dispute. They said that essentially the law was the first part of the law or of the amendment, of the Second Amendment, is a preamble, not the statement of the law. The second part is the law. In this case, they made it narrow in scope by saying that applies to owning and being able to bear arms in the house for self-defense.
John, I'm going to stand my ground on this. I'm going to go ahead and you are infringing on my own property, my own rights. I feel very threatened. He's coming right for me. I'm going to have to defend myself and aggressively attack. So what you're saying is that's okay in that law?
No, that has nothing to do with it. It's not a stand your ground.
I'm not done yet, John! That's funny shit. I'm done. I got you like, is he really not going to yell at me? He's like, he is! I want to make you shake in your goddamn boots every time I say something weird. Make 1,000 miles away, I make a fucking this. He's like, oh, God. Yeah, John, you see what happens when you don't fucking listen? Yeah. I've got guns in here and you're in my house. Whose house? Two-sided house. 8 p.m.
Say what?
And 11 p.m. Yup.
So now a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. We're stopping there. That part is a preamble. And they're saying that well-regulated militia is just one example of what is necessary. And so the real law is the next part. The right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. And so they separated the two phrases of this statement, of this one sentence.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I felt the well-regulated was like, all right, if you're going to be in a militia in any state or federation or small entity, you all have to take Metamucil and be very well regulated. Like, I need you to poop on the hour, every hour, for the hour. Maybe not. Is that not what they mean with regulated? I don't know, John. I'm trying to put A and B together.
So the majority decision of this Supreme Court case in 2008, Heller, uses self-defense as basically the interpretation of that second part, the law, and uses home to confine it just to the house so that regulations outside the home can still happen. But self-defense and home don't appear in the Second Amendment whatsoever. So it's just kind of things that they're throwing out to make it small in scope for now, but with the possibility for it to blow up.
Well, my home is where my house is, John. I've always said that.
Heller was very clear, though, because Justice Antonin Scalia was the majority opinion writer. And
sorry, every time I hear Scalia, and it's like, I think of Reservoir Dogs. Oh, hey, who's your PO? That Scagnetti fuck. Fuck that Scagnetti. Scalia, Scagnetti. 6-1 Scagnetti, whatever. Go ahead.
He said, quote, "The right secured by the Second Amendment is not unlimited." Further along, nothing in our opinion should be taken to cast doubt on longstanding prohibitions on the possession of firearms by felons and mentally ill, or laws forbidding the carrying of firearms in sensitive places such as schools and government buildings.
Or in the back of a Volkswagen, or in your tank. You're talking about sensitive places, right?
That'd be, yeah, uncomfortable.
I understand what you're saying. No, that's sensitive. In your tank? Tell me it's not sensitive. If you put hot sauce in your tank, that's sensitive, motherfucker. Not in the back of a Volkswagen. That was a joke. But now if you want to get specifically literal with me, I will back my second joke up. But no, John, I get it. When you're reading the words, the thing is, like, you can read them, but you need to read them with understanding so that we understand them, and then we can then maybe like read them and then explain them. Maybe that's your new thing. How about that? Maybe that's your new thing, right? Read your fucking John L. Peacock writing that you're good at writing, and like if readers are reading it, like, oh my god, I'm judging on literary experience, and this guy's amazing. People are like, wow, wow, right? But then after you read that, button it, I'll shut the fuck up, and you then tell us in layman's terms, you tell us in Idiot's Guide to My Boy Pete's Understanding of the Two-Sided Pod at this point, so no one gets upset in the after show. John, look me in the eyes.
Yep.
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. All right. So do your thing and then do your thing.
Totally. So Scalia, who wrote the majority opinion, which is used for the very minute detailing of precedents. Obviously, the judgment overall is precedence, but what's in the opinion basically tells why the judgment was made, and so it in itself creates precedents, very minute, specific, defined precedents. So
Okay,
this is a quote.
Your definition of is. What's your definition of is? It's trying to do the minutia.
Right. It's all legalese. It's all that. So I'll say it again, and I'll break it up, and I'll talk about what these quotes are. So the right secured by the Second Amendment is not unlimited. That speaks for itself. But I just breezed past that. Right. So there he goes. He's not saying it is the end all be all. It does not. It have no cap. There are restrictions there.
Okay. So he says, we say this, but motherfuckers, there's a time and place for a gun in the house and the thing in a place. Come on.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
Okay. No. Oh, we're talking Scalia still there.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Never mind. Go ahead. We're not going to go there.
Further along, he says, quote, "Nothing in our opinion should be taken to cast doubt on long-standing prohibitions on the possessions of firearms. 1, by felons and the mentally ill. 2, or by laws forbidding the carrying of firearms in sensitive places, such as schools and government buildings."
Okay. So, and let me go ahead. I'm with 100% of that because he's saying like, hey, yeah, you don't get to do everything everywhere all the time, right? But in his position, you're putting shit on paper that's in document history forever. So he's like, such as schools, government buildings. You can't take a gun to a strip club that serves booze. If it serves hard alcohol, you can't take it to a strip club. If it's topless only and only serves beer, you can be armed as a motherfucker in California. I don't know how that works. But I'm saying they don't say all the things like, but how could you sell things? It's stupid. It's the levels of bullshit of like, all right, so God damn it, John, we're halfway through, and I'm gonna take you on a hard left because now we're dealing with prohibition of like, oh, drinking makes people aggressively insane. Like, yeah, John, you remember our fucking after shows, our wrap ups, John? Give me a gun in a strip club. I'm gonna show you what I mean. That's not true. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. But John, I'm saying what our government does, and if you look at it in these literal black and white senses instead of a very educational, legalistic sense of, because you do the research, right? You have the facts. You wrote it out, and it's beautifully written. I'm not giving you any, but when someone of a layperson's understanding can understand what's happening and can relay that, like, oh, so what you're saying is it's like, and then we're like, what? That's like that? Holy shit, that's fucked up.
Right.
It's just too much. Like, there's too many words. Like, yes, I stand up for the opposition of the support of the anti-bill to destroy the support of the pipeline. Like, hey, can you keep the pipeline here? Yes, then vote maybe no or whatever. Like, I don't know what to do now. Same with the fucking his whole thing. Like, maybe yes, maybe like, I get it, but and that's why I don't know, man. Supreme Court justices need to be. They do not need to be for life. They do not need to be for life, and they also need to. You need to get a yes. You need to get a Supreme Court judge, but there needs to be a secondary process where it's an election from your pool that you pick as your Supreme Court nominee of your no-men. And like, it's a clerk, it's just a court clerk, like, yeah, you know law, but like, yeah, no, but what we call
Not the Senate.
Like, yeah, anyone who watches both, it's like Entourage, and you have your crew. Right. They're all yes men. right? You have yes men. There's very few crews who have a no man who's like, nah, hey man, we hold up for a hot second. We'll do it tomorrow. You need to get every Supreme Court. You get a 10-year thing, and we get your no man. Your no man is elected. No, man. No. And you get to pick as electee of your 5 people who are your no man. All these motherfuckers are going to say yes. But then what we do is we capture the families, right? We get them, we hold them in. I believe what Jane Thomas said was hold them in containers in ships off of Gitmo. So if we put them out there until they do their job correctly. Oh, too far?
Hey, you want to just move on and pretend that conversation never happened?
Yep, my hands are up. I see nothing. I feel nothing. I'm ready. Sorry, John. It's been me drinking all day by myself.
And 3, 2, 1. So that brings us to last week. And it's funny that you mentioned that law of not being able to bring a gun into a strip club, my boy Pete. Because funny enough.
Yeah, that's why I stopped going to strip clubs.
I have the thing, the actual printout of what happened, but it's all legalese, and you hate that. So, shall I just summarize?
Yes, please.
Great. So, New York State has a proper cause law that you have to show proper cause of why you need gun handling and concealed gun permit.
Concealed and carry. Right.
Right. Conceal and carry. 2 gentlemen both applied for and were given certain access with their guns up in upstate New York, but not given the full right of carry anywhere. They sued. It was turned down by the courts and went all the way to the Supreme Court that overturned that law effectively with this decision, the 6-3 decision.
Right. Which is now, because now it's a beautiful, it's one of those things when you take a step back, like, is anyone else here? Like, you can't be for something and against something. Like, you can't truly, I'm pro-life, but I'm pro people drinking hard liquor and carrying guns into clubs. Like, bro, that literally, even if it's not hard liquor, in California, you can, but yeah, people can drink beer like a motherfucker, and then you're gonna pull your shit out when someone beats you down. Like, it's going to happen. Stupid. But now you're so like, no, but life matters. Bro, come on. Like, pick and choose, pick a lane. I honestly would respect them more if you literally picked a lane. Like, no abortion, and also there's all the WIC things you need. There's all the support of the children. There's all the things of the families for like all the way through until they're 18.
The social net is strong.
Social net, right? If you did all that, I couldn't fault you. Like, you're doing what you think is correct, right?
But that's not the case.
That's not the case. You're like, no, keep the kids, but also keep a gun. Also, if your kid gets older than 4, your kid should have a gun maybe, and then shoot anyone who comes in your house. I don't know. Maybe we're just winging this. Like, we're the GOP, baby. You want to come to our next fucking meetup? It's gonna be beautiful.
So this I will read. This is a quote. New York's proper cause requirements violates the 14th Amendment by preventing law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public for self-defense. That's their ruling. Everything else is explanation. And the very next thing is about Heller. So using Heller their rationale.
As a basis of, right? And the thing is, because in accordance with Heller versus the District of Columbia, like you don't really say the state of Washington, because people are like, oh, you were back in the Pacific Northwest? Like, no, the fucker, we're the goddamn capital where shit should get done correctly. That whole thing, the idea of it, it's unfortunate, John, but it's gonna take New York to have a fucked up shooting in a strip club, in a club, in something because of drinking, for them to re-examine, and then we'll go to state court, the appellate court. It'll have to go all the way through Supreme Court because we're not done with the gun laws. Like that bullshit. Ugh, we're not even close to that yet. And so then you're gonna have to think about repealing. Because right now, anything we pass federally is not going to affect you guys in New York and where you can carry it. So all the great, like, cool, that's great.
Times Square, subway, buses,
No, 100%,
etc.
100%. Oh, you have a gun? Oh, you're not fucked up? And you want a gun? And you have no record? You have a gun. You have a handgun, just a handgun. You can wait the fucking, you know what? I know you're on vacation. Wait a month. Go to Florida, come back. Get perspective on life in fucking Boca Raton. Come on back, get your gun. Think about your safety. Bullshit, John. Like, it's just such bullshit.
So following that, gun rights groups filed a preliminary injunction yesterday to stop New York City from enforcing its century-old requirement that residents show, quote, proper cause. So the state one was the one that was deemed unconstitutional and stricken down. And immediately there's an injunction request for the city version of it. So that technically is still on the books. The Second Amendment Foundation, along with Firearms Policy Coalition, Inc., and a lot of citizens filed the motion.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm with you. I'm just like, ugh.
Quote, in light of from them, the quote, in light of the Supreme Court's ruling that New York State's good cause mandate is unconstitutional, we felt compelled to file this action because the city's proper cause requirement is just as bad, if not worse. The founder and executive VP Alan Gottlieb said in a statement.
So, now here's the deal. I have your address. I'm sending you some really amazing state of California gummies, but I'm also now sending you 2 Derringers that are actively loaded and need you to be safe because you won't carry hammers in the subway. I asked you to. I sent you hammers. They were Vaughn hammers. They were beautiful hammers.
No hammers.
I'm not taking those. No hammers. And I said, please don't hurt them. And you're like, no, I'm not even going to take that bait and do a little dance across. What they want to do, say what they want to say. I want to play. I want to play this. I want to play. None of it. Wouldn't even take it. Right. So I'm singing little Derringers that could not kill anyone, John. It's like a goddamn airsoft gun. They're getting a little something in the back of their head. Like, oh shit. John, I need you to be safe if you're taking subways. John, also I need you to be high if you're taking subways. That's why I'm putting you gummies and guns. Folks, if you like what you heard, you can't believe what you've seen. If you like gummies and guns, that's our new t-shirt line. Gummies and guns. Folks, get high, get defensive. Don't be afraid.
I have 2 opinion pieces, one from a liberal, one from a conservative. Do we want to talk about them, or we just want to move on?
No, I can't. It's your call. I know nothing about what you're doing or who they are. So I want you to think about, I want you to take a hard look in. John, I want you to be the best John that you can be. Because I am a supporter of you.
All right, I'll finish on this. A couple of conservative justices, former justices of the Supreme Court, have ruled in the past 20 years about this. So I'll look at the recent one, March 8, 2018. Former Justice John Paul Stevens, who was appointed by Gerald Ford, a conservative, wrote that Americans protesting the massacre of 17 people, a majority Stoneman Douglas High School should, quote, demand a repeal of the Second Amendment. So he explained this. He's conservative. Yeah, great. Okay. Constitutional amendments to get rid of the Second Amendment would be simple and would do more to weaken the NRA's ability to stymie legislative debate and block conservative gun control legislation than any other available option.
But the thing is, okay, so what you're thinking of is difficult. You're saying he's GOP, he's conservative, he's appointed by Ford, right? So you're saying all these things which in today would matter, yeah? But back then, we were not as polarized. When he was appointed, he was not polarized as we are today. So he's willing to say, no, man, right is right, wrong is wrong. But today, like, I like beer, I drink beer, I have beer. Like, what? Holy shit, if I had a Supreme Court of my college buddies and people I went to school with, like, oh yeah, I knew you were smart, but you're a fucking bitch. And you're a drinker and you're still a fucking bitch too. Like, wow. Whoa. Holy shit.
So we'll finish on this. One more conservative justice of the peace. Warren Burger, who was appointed by Nixon in 91, told PBS, quote, if I were writing the Bill of Rights now, there wouldn't be any such thing as a Second Amendment. He called it one of the greatest pieces of fraud, I repeat the word fraud, on the American people by special interest groups that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Oh, 100%. I am not a burger. I'm more of falafel. We all remember that beautiful speech when he got on the helicopter. Like, mix it up. But no, truly, like, when people are, if you have fucking a stake in the game, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna protect your stake. Unfortunately, people are like, no, you're infallible because you're on a Supreme Court or you're an appellate court or you're a justice here. Even state levels, like, people, you get out of any, like, oh, you're the public defenders or the prosecution of the state, and now you're a judge and now you're infallible. No, motherfucker, you are not. You're still who you were.
Right.
Actively who you were. And now, like, you got noticed by a president, by a government, by something, like, okay, so right then, red flag, you did something that was either a red light for the normal community, like, you got upper management written all over you, or you did the right thing and you're moving, like, but there's very few, John. Like, I just don't, it's bullshit. Like, it needs to be Supreme Court shit and governors, but not even Supreme Court, not even, like, the state court, appellate judges, any of those, because they get chosen by whoever their governor is, by the president, or whatever. Here is who, and then they get approved, right? That's bullshit. So because we get this one person, then we get all of these things. Fuck you, man. I know it's uncomfortable for all of us. We don't like ballots. Nobody likes ballots. How about we just goddamn get them on our phones and we start appointing people into that we choose, right? Yeah, you get sent a ballot and you get a phone ballot, but no longer a person of a higher up entity gets to pick who is judging you on your goddamn parking tickets. I don't want to make it about parking tickets, John, but I shouldn't have parked there, and I told them there was no fucking sign. Anyway, going back to court next week.
It wasn't because of the yelling. It was because you slapped the meter maid, Zsa Zsa Gabor.
If you had ever seen a meter maid's face that deserved to be slapped more, Tom, that is all I'm saying. We didn't have videos back then, but I saw the meter maid in court. It's like, I'm going to slap that bitch outside. And my attorney is like, no, you are in court next. Stop trying to aggressively attack witnesses from this case. Gone.
Sometimes you slap, sometimes you get slapped, but with just hand to hand, you live. You live to slap another day.
Goddamn straight, brother. That is how I was raised. You can be as mad as you want. You can put hands on anyone. You can do anything you fucking want, and you will live to see it. You will get your ass beat. You will beat ass.
Yep.
The worst that would happen is like when we saw curb stomping and people hitting like with bricks and shit.
Sure.
Like,
right.
Okay, that's okay.
Dang cool.
Still at that point, it's like I gotta move.
Dude got up. Right.
I know I can do all of them, but when you get a gun, like, God damn it, man. Do you remember John L. Peacock? Do you remember? Let's take a long road there because I want to make you say the name first. Come on, knock on my door.
Jack Ripper.
Waiting for you. Jack Ripper. And who played Jack
Tripper?
Ripper?
No, Jack the Ripper
Yours
is.
and hers, Three's Company too. Who was the actor, John? Jack Tripper.
Jack Tripper was the character, right? Yeah.
Who was the actor? Ready?
Great.
No?
Physical comedic actor.
Here we go. Like, nope, I'm gonna move on. We don't need it because he will dial in our fucking email. That's twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod@gmail.com. Tell us how wrong we are. But he moved on from that. He was in I did too much talking.
Jack Tripper.
Okay.
Three's Company. His newest sitcom before he passed, Dating My Daughter, something 15 Rules.
I like what you're doing. I like where your head is at. I like where you're going, but I don't feel like you're understanding the situation. So it's good.
No, I'm not.
No. And you're still talking. It's really good. Super good. Like you're doing great. Like you've changed. You heard all the notes, but you haven't understood all the notes. It's really good. We'll move on from the other joke. Hooper was a show that I last watched him in, where he was he worked for the police, where he would talk down suicide victims, and so there would be people on the ledge and be ledge jumpers, and he would always be late to the thing, and he would bring a paper bag and walk up there and have a watermelon in the bag. After he talks for a while, he'd throw the watermelon off. He's like, and it was splat. Like, see? About 3 seconds down, you're going to wish you hadn't done that. This gives you a chance. And he had that whole thing, but he was a suicide Hooper.
Okay.
But the joke in between that would have been funnier, that would have made it tie it all together, was he was in a movie where he wore a glow-in-the-dark condom. But I'm sure he wasn't naked, but there was a fucking floppy glow-in-the-dark condom running across the room. Oh, goddamn.
Oh, I wish I had seen that movie.
You know what, John? The thing about movies is you can see them whenever you want. The world is your oyster, and you, sir, are not allergic to selfish. I'm going to find out.
Let's play these messages and move on.
Thanks for rocking with us on the Two-Sided Pod. We're going to take a quick break and pay some bills.
Giddy up,
Keep
baby.
it locked right here
to Farmers Only, AM,
Yeah.
1510.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Madness is we just had a subway shooting several months ago, and they were like, not bad enough.
Right.
Like, fuck. How bad does it have to be?
Yeah. Preach.
Preach.
Right? That's the thing. It's like when we get used to the fucking bullshit new normal, is like because we're used to it. We're fucking used to it. And like I'm used to bullshit outside of my house, but I shouldn't have to be used to it. I shouldn't have to be on a swivel. I shouldn't, because my whole thing is like, hey, that's not normal when people come to us like, I'm safe. Fuck them. If they come to me, they're in a lot of trouble. I'm like, that shouldn't be how everyone needs to act. It should be how you're feeling all the time. Bullshit, man.
I've made New York City my home for 15 plus years, and I've never felt unsafe in my city. Never felt unsafe in my city. And I'm like, I can feel it.
Oh.
Like the trickle down. I don't know when it's going to happen. It might be tomorrow. It might be in a couple months, but it's something, man.
Oh, 100%. Like you're like, I've known you living in your city for 10 years, and I've also felt that you are always in danger and you just don't know it. And I just like, God damn it. Am I going to fly out for the memorial? And he's like, oh, it's going to be in Arizona. I'll go there. That'll be fine. But I put all of my ducks in a row that you're coming to mine first. And I was like, don't come, because the people who will be in charge of throwing the party are like fucking all tied up with shit. Like, oh, what are you going to do? And so, no, I don't. I'm putting you in the will for a lot of my money. Your funeral was a lot better. Also, I'm doing a whole fucking hologram.
Tupac was like when Tupac was at fucking Coachella.
I'm gonna be at
your
funeral
as a hologram, because I'm
using my money to not give to anyone else, but to be a hologram
myself for all the friends' funerals.
You are thinking of John Ritter. He played Jack.
Yep. And the movie that I'm talking about with the glow in the dark condom was Skin Deep, John. Not a good movie, but it had John Ritter wearing a glow in the dark condom. Well, supposed to be John Ritter, his body double, whatever. It's a dark with a floppy glow in the dark condom running through the room.
Well, he is such a physical comedian. You know, he was one of the great clowns.
Don't put that evil on
so
him.
I'm sure it was him.
No, you put that evil on him. Like, yeah, you're dead. You can't defend yourself. Yeah, you slapped your dick around enough. Watch the movie first before. I'm sure it was him. John, don't put evil on someone until you know what you're talking about.
I'm not saying it was his wee-wee. I'm just saying maybe he did something like attached like some kind of thing so that he could flop around. But he would want to do that because he's a physical actor and a physical comedian. I'm not saying he did something obscene. I said he was part of a great comedic moment.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
No. Not only are you an idiot, but I actively hate you more and more every day because you insisted to say pee-pee when we took our break. I gotta go pee-pee. Don't ever say those words. I'm gonna say pee-pee all the time. And now
I said tinkles, not pee-pee. Tinkles. Thank you very much. I don't say pee-pee.
Yeah, no, you say wee-wee.
I do say wee-wee.
How have you not been assaulted? How are you the one who makes it through the subway? How are you with your
6'3" and a bass voice? Usually ginger. People don't want to go near me.
No, but anyone who hey man, what you got on my 40? I'm sorry, I'm going tinkle and wee wee on my PP222. If you speak, you're in trouble. You're fucking in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Tinkle wee wee PP2. Yikes. All right, fair enough. Let's move on. We have a show.
We have a show to do.
I put a goddamn shirt on for this. Ugh.
And what a shirt. Hey, we're in our next lightning round.
Don't want to wait for lightning guy. All right, is that cool, John? He's asleep right now. We honestly, at this point, we do not want to wake up East. I'm trying to help us.
This lightning round segment is one of your favorites and mine. Yes, it is the editorial dick. That is where I give headlines of news articles, and my boy Pete is the editor. Pure opinion, no facts needed, just a go.
All right. I feel like I'm going to have to ask you to clarify once we have the first one, but let's try it. It's not me, it's you. It's mainly you. It's not me, it's you. It's mainly you.
Shh, let's cheers to him staying asleep. Shh.
So, if there's anyone there who's ever oh no, that's already full. I was about to pour in one of the shots. That's full. And that's where we are, folks. You'll see where things turn. About 9:25. Cheers.
Cheers to everybody. Thank you for listening.
Get drunk, baby.
Let's get drunk!
Bonk! Hi, lightning round guy.
Hey guys, you guys drinking? Have some Chapman?
No. The thing is, it was a good night tap, and we're actually signing off.
Okay, well, I'll be inside the closet if you need me.
All right, fair enough. That's good. Good.
Footage.
Yeah.
Okay.
First headline.
Yep.
California gun data breach exposes personal info linked to 10 years of concealed carry permits.
Oh my God. Yeah. You fucking idiots. Here's the deal. Yeah. You got your PlayStation account hacked, right? We got the fucking Hillary's emails done, and now you're worried about a gun thing in California. Are you idiots? If you put information in on the websites of the things of the stuff, you will be exposed. The best advice my father ever gave me was if you put it down on paper, expect everyone in the world to read it. If you type it, it will be heard. You shut the fuck up, you whisper in an ear, you get the weird cement boots, and you put them in the goddamn river. And that'll do all you need.
You got this. You're fine. Second headline, SCOTUS just quietly slashed your Sixth Amendment rights.
All right, so I don't like when you, here's the deal. First off, as an editorialist, I editorialize, Tom. That's what I do for a living, right? What I don't like is when you just assume that I know that scrotum means something. Like it's a scrotus, scroti.
Oh, you were talking about this earlier. The red, the blue, right.
I don't, yeah. Like you made an acronym. Like I'm guessing it's an acronym unless it's a part of the body that's infected. What are you saying?
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court says what to me? Huh?
Just quietly slash your Sixth Amendment rights with a recent decision that was released and not really advertised.
Oh, dude, yeah. Okay. Wait. Scrotum says what?
What?
Oh, you're a Supreme Court judge, you motherfucker. Here's the deal. The thing is, they did slash them. They did take them away. They did, and as an editor, as an editorializer, there's not much more to say. Like actively, we've kind of established all these things, and John has set me up for regurgitation of stupidity. And sir, I refuse to do that on your terms. I do that on my terms. My terms only when I'm stupid. Unless you tempt me. All right, I'll do it. John. Okay, John. Here's the deal. Yeah, of course it's lashing because everything's stacked in the court. There's stupid people doing stupid things and stupid decisions. It's every single dynasty, every government, everything we've known has lasted. There's been a finite time of the government, of the society, the Roman Empire, the Ming dynasty, all the clans, all anything you put forth in the world of history has lasted in a finite little bubble, right?
Yep.
We are actively the longest at this point in life. Yeah. We beat the Romans. We don't have the Colosseum. We got UFC, baby.
As far as a democracy, yes, we have.
We don't have chariot races, but we got the Kentucky Derby, the old trifecta. Like, let's get the Heinz Cup. I don't know, John. I'm unsure.
NASCAR, baby. NASCAR.
Most popular sport in America, which leads me to my next comment. We are a dying society of stupid people who must be destroyed. It's not on my terms. It's on their terms. John, I told you you would get deep in this. I told you we'd burn bridges, or I would. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anyone who's listening who wants to be the next co-host of Two Sided Pod, because John is actively looking now. Here's all the rope, and I said, let's hang myself and then burn the village with the excess. Ugh.
Next headline. You'll enjoy this. It's a milestone, a kind of sad and sentimental milestone. Iwo Jima hero and last surviving World War II Medal of Honor recipient dies at 98.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been standing there. His whole thing, he was trying to get in front of a bus and stop. Like, dude, come on, don't be all fucking. Okay, that's not true. But if you look him up, this motherfucker, the Iwo Jima last hero, he destroyed multiple pillboxes with a flamethrower. He was out in the battlefield for 2 days and only coming back to refill his tank and then his backpack. And then he would go out and let's fuck shit up. Like, he was playing. Like, honestly, okay, I don't want to be little. I don't want to. No, that will be. No, that will be. He was actively leveling up all the time in a video game sense. He was he had everything on lock at all points. Like, he was not worried about that, about taking astray. You can call it matrix level, you can call it bravery, but after the first 2 times, like, I'm a golden god. Yeah. But beautiful, John. Like, the thing, if you look, like, I don't know if you looked the story up and what he did. Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
So good. But then they show the picture. He's like, the oldest man, like, dude, why you gotta put a picture of him up? I'm like, come on, man.
Let us imagine, like, the Hulk.
Right. Because they had his picture when he in his draft picture or in his army picture, and they have the picture of him now in a fucking chair with a blanket and like people holding his arms. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, just show this one. Like, we get it. You're 90 something.
98.
Ugh. Yeah. John Ritter was on 57.
Yeah.
He didn't have a blanket. He had a dissecting aneurysm, John. That's a heart condition. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, similar to a heart attack, but not. Yeah.
No, not at all. It is similar, but it is a dissecting where it causes the effects of a heart attack after a long period of time with the aneurysm that is depleting your. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to go to the.
And finally, the Supreme Court. Do you want to finish that?
No, I can't. It's half full. If I do, I won't be able to talk. Let's go.
The Supreme Court hands defeat to Native American tribes in Oklahoma.
It's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Okay. It's hard to make jokes, man. It's hard to make jokes. It's truly hard to make jokes. Because the jokes you want to make are like the ha 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 ha, but they're time and a place. I think like, but it's not even time and place anymore. Like, because you want to make like Red Dawn jokes. I'm like, oh, you want to start this again? Like, there's jokes, but not jokes. No, there's no jokes. What the fuck are you doing, man? Come on. Because you want a pipeline? Ugh. You truly are a scrotus. Editor out. You thought I didn't remember what we were doing. I remembered 100%.
It reminds me of the famous song at the end of Short Bus. We all get there in the end. We all get there in the end.
It might take a little longer, but we all get there in the end.
And if you like what you're listening to, there's more Two-Sided out there. Recording every episode of Two-Sided live on the Stereo app every Thursday, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Also live streaming on our YouTube channel, Two-Sided Podcast. We're on Instagram, Twitter, at Two-Sided Pod for each. And we got a Gmail to suggest topics for our show or to throw some, come on to our Tuesday open chat shows on Stereo. Two-Sided Podcast, Two-Sided Pod at gmail.com. Let's try that again. Hey, 3, 2, 1. Two-Sided Pod at gmail.com. TWO-Sided Pod at gmail.com.
Unless you're trying to check somewhere else that it's Two-Sided Podcast. And if it's not, it's the number 2. With the pod as a Tide Pod, as the emoji with the cast of the fishing line.
You've got in my head. You got in my head, man.
No, you got in your own head when you try to make all the names of different things, and they're all different. If people try to say Two-Sided Pod, it will not work in specific environments because John chose differently in different environments. God damn it, John. Anyway, like and subscribe. You can't believe what you're seeing. If you can't see what you're hearing, right now is the time. Right now is the place. We're doing an altar call. I know you have had some hardships in your life. I know you've had some issues. But here's the time when you can hit that button at the top of your screen at the Two-Sided Podcast. Come on down to the front. We'll pray with you. We'll pray that you understand the comedy that Donald Peacock does not. The naming conventions that he will not ever adhere to. Your Lord and Savior, my boy Pete, John L. Peacock. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I don't know, John. I think we've probably got a lot of followers right there because now we're with the Christian right. You did a whole thing about the gun safety, like, yeah, bro. But now we got the fucking Christian right.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I did my research. The Christian right is the most people I can get, the most followers for my cult.
That does make sense.
They're not as cool. They're definitely not as cool, but I can get more of them. And they have, more things. Like Heaven's Gate. Think about the mansion I can get if I had like 17 Heaven's Gate people. There's like 72 Davidians. Come on, John, do the math.
Speaking of the Christian right, we're going to talk about New York City Pride.
Oh, okay. Christian right. We're talking anti this. Dude. Oh, fuck with some pride talk, bro. Ally for life. Oh, this fighting motherfucker who doesn't believe in coexistence. And that's not just fucking pride. That's with anyone Like if you belittle anyone, I will fist fight you because like that gives me a way to get my anger issues out. I'm like, I'm very peaceful. I'm supporting everyone else. This is kind of like what Knight Rider did. I'm like Kit the car. Like I want to drive aggressively, but I just need an excuse from a fucking douchebag who drinks too much. That's all I need.
Your eyes do look like the front of that car. They're just going back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, John, thanks for noticing my stroke. I've had a lot of problems processing things and knowing where I am and feeling the left side of my body. So I'm glad you've recognized that. Thanks, John. Strokes brought to you by the Two-Sided Pod. You son of a bitch.
First, I want to do a nice little cheers shot to New York Pride, the oldest of the official Pride celebrations throughout the U.S.
You're going to get into why it's old?
Of course, baby. Of course.
Okay.
You know, I got you.
Okay. I just want to know when I should jump in and fucking yell at you. Now's not the time. Should I yell now, John? Now? No? Now? No? Okay, drink.
On the last day of Pride Month, happy Pride, everyone. Cheers. As it's being recorded June 30th.
Bro, let me before you go any further, let I share with you, when I think I put it on our page, there is a, I'll look it up and I'll put it on a thing, but you can buy any amount of pride flags of any sort, of anything for free. All you pay is shipping for the cost of the shipping. So you can have literally anything. Like,
right.
I was looking through them. There was like, you can have BLM pride, you can have this pride, you can have advocate, you can have like something poly. Like it made me like, I understand because as I'm going through, right, it's a serious thing, John. Like it's a specific thing, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like it's times in that make me, because I'm specific. I am serious. I appreciate people. I understand people. I support causes, but my natural inclination is to go stupid and funny and make a joke. And I didn't realize until the last
humor heals. Humor heals in so many ways, and I know that's all of your meaning. But continue.
Right. No, 100%. But I didn't realize that in the last couple of years that when you make hard jokes, like it really offends people. Like you can offend people by that you think is in that moment, you truly think is like, this is great. Like truly in that moment, when you look back at that joke, like,
and that kind of humor doesn't necessarily heal. Right. Yeah.
It doesn't heal. Right. It makes a lot of other people okay, but now it fucking has to divide from these, from this group that you've healed, quote unquote, to these people now who feel alienated. And now you're making little groups and groups and groups and groups. And I didn't realize that. I had no idea. So it's very difficult. And that's why I feel like you always gaslight me. You always fucking like, here's some rope, motherfucker. Ready? Make it happen. Like, bro. And the thing is, I know you would never do that. And I know that my heart's the right place. I support everyone. I support everything. Everything. Like, fucking leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. I will fucking fist fight for you to be left alone.
Right.
I don't bring guns to the party. I'll bring dance moves. I did 6 years at Juilliard, and I will fucking plie you out of this fucking jam. Believe
and
that.
you will fisticuffs even cheek by jowl.
Yeah. Nay, sir. Jowl by cheek. Anyway, no, anyone who Shakespeare does, John's right. But I'm saying when I went through we'll post a link. We'll post in our Instagram again, because I think I did, but we'll post it again. We'll post it on our Twitter. You can go get any number of flags you want. But I was looking things up, and it was at first there's things that were funny to me, like ha ha ha. Like it's not funny. It's not a funny joke. Like look it up. learn it and know what it is because there's people who identify.
Right. It was a soundbite to you because you were ignorant to the society behind it, the culture behind it. The
100%.
Right. Yep.
Right. But then I get to the things like free flags. I'm like, yeah, let's get some goddamn free flags.
Yeah.
And then I learned all of the things like, oh, pansexual and this, and instead of just looking at the onion of what their definition of things are. Like it and we have till today, so till midnight tonight Pacific. So we have 2 hours.
Right.
But you can get the flags are normally like $29, $30, but you get them for free and you just pay shipping, but shipping is like $20. But you can get as many as you want. And it's like, yeah, no, they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. It's stupid. I still watch Bill Maher every once in a while. You've sworn him off. We talked about this, but he panned that there are multiple flags now, and I think it's the complete opposite. It's there is a very large umbrella that we used to call the gay community, and now it's LGBTQIA plus, and that is a very large umbrella. You can just tell by the fact of all the letters in the acronym, right? And so that umbrella encompasses so much. And so why not
100%.
have specific flag to identify and be proud of who you are?
Right, in your moment, your thing, because I'm part of this community. If you look at my Venn diagram, I am here. I am present. I fuck with this shit.
Yeah.
But I need to be self-identified. I need to know that I am represented. Right? Like, because we talked about that. It was like early on, like when we went to college, when we met, it was, oh, there's the gay people. It was just gay. And that was all it was. And we
that was the verbiage of the time. Yep.
Was that?
That was the verbiage of the time. Yeah.
No, 100% verbiage, but it was the verbiage, but people didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't know. And I feel like a lot of people, you look at Midwest now today, like it's so far behind our times, right? Like you're New York, I'm California. So
right.
We went, and then we, not only that, but we also went through theater, and theater fucking punches the gas on acceptance.
Yeah, it teaches you empathy, and you understand others who are different.
100%. You're gonna get it, or you're gonna get the fuck out. Period.
Right. Yep.
Right. So when you get it, and you start to see, like, oh my God, these are stories. These are people who actively have backstories. Like, I was talking to a friend, like, the people. I have a real problem with John now. Like the people we talk about, the anti-people who are pro-gun, we look at the Senate, the Boberts and the Greens and the McCarthys, and the people who we are anti, right? Aggressively anti, right? Yeah. And so how I know, fuck you, how I know I'm growing is that I'm like, and there's a small margin of people who are true, who want to be evil, who want to be the James Bond villain, who are set out to destroy humanity, right? Who are actively thinking about how to bring down what is here. The other group of people who you don't agree with, which I think is our white people, they're just so misled. They've been raised so poorly. Their environment, their cities, their people, their friends, their high schools, it's been they don't listen. We can talk out of class. It's like the Mayor Rose. It's like when you get 7 brothers together, and if you all tell each other that you could be on the Titanic, Like, and if you have enough people hanging out on the bow, like, we're not sinking, we're not sinking, we're not sinking, we're not sinking, we're not sinking.
Yeah, I was saying that earlier. All morals are subjective. It's all about the point of view.
No, it's 100%. It's not the point of it, you know, it's point of view, but it's your perspective. Point of view is the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally the same thing, John. Like, I'm not trying to belittle that, but it is perspective. It is where you're sitting. And if you are sitting, like, do I sit down and watch this? Do I stand up? Do I have a feeling about this? And then I watch it happen. Do I stand up and I run forward? So you have, it's all about where you are and how you move yourself and what you do. Because I know for you, man, and for me too, you've had those uncomfortable conversations with people. Like, oh, am I gonna lose a friend right now? Or I'm gonna shut the fuck up? Because this motherfucker's pretty hot. I'm like, we're coming hot too. You want to try to. Luckily for me, I didn't have a lot of friends, so I only lost like 2. So,
the ratio, the great ratio.
Bro, 100%. It's really good. So, but I was worried about you. Like, if you're true to your fucking goddamn goals, you would lose everyone in your life. You would then delete from Facebook. You would no longer be bartending there.
Well, you talking about your humor and not understanding is sometimes that it could be truly offensive, and when you realize that in different ways, it you grew, you took it in. The one example I know is my pronouns are he and they, and you took a joke out of that.
Umbrage. I took umbrage.
I was going to say umbrage.
John.
It's weird that I was like, maybe not umbrage. I was going to say you made a joke, but yeah, you took umbrage.
I wouldn't say offense, but I would say umbrage, John. Yeah. All you're doing because John,
and so you had a joke that came out of that interaction, and then from another interaction, I think with a coworker or someone, I don't know. I don't know who the person is, but there was something where you're like, no, because you came to me like, oh, well, this person, what is that?
Maybe
maybe it was through email, so
John,
maybe it was me.
From you.
Yeah,
go ahead. Continue the story. Belittle me, because I'm ready.
And you saw that maybe making those kind of jokes would not be great in this climate, because they can be truly offensive, because they could actually think that you're not understanding, which you are, and that's the whole point. Like your humor is very sarcastic, very satire based, but. Right. Let's get into it, man. We haven't even started this segment.
Let's get into it, John, because I was aggressively listening to you try to explain this. You didn't give my joke. You didn't give what was offensive. You told why I was making a joke. You told
I didn't want. If you want to give it,
I
won't give it. There's a little more rope. It's okay.
Oh, there's no rope there, John. Once you fucking explain that, you could have done that in the prelim of like, he didn't know, and his joke was, and you do a very soft, palatable voice, and you do the joke, right?
Right.
But if you do the joke all funny, ha, John, and you gloss over my joke, like, now I'm offended that you don't think that was funny, John, because John's pronouns were he, him, his. Yeah, did I get it?
He, him, they.
He, him, they. Yeah, see? I emailed him once or twice. No big deal. I, on the other hand, I digress. I found that I want people to know who I am. Me, mine, mines. So my pronouns are me, mine, mines. And it was hilarious for like a month and a half until I realized what the situation, what we were dealing with. It's like, oh no.
I'm not laughing at the original joke. I'm laughing at the fact that you kind of got it wrong. It's me, my, mine is what you had originally said for a while. You were proud of it. Me, mine, my's? Is that what you just said? Me, mine, my's? What is my's?
Well, the best thing about that you were in for it, that you are not in for it, you just pop in just to try to fuck with someone, because my's is me, all about me's, and I want everyone to know those are my's, those are my's, those are my's. Oh, don't touch that. Those are my's too. You don't speak well. It's like I don't fucking yell at you when you have Ginger coming to your fucking podcast. And it turns out I do. Look at your face.
Look at your face. Look at your face.
Yeah, it's July 1st. Pride Month is over. That's it. Well, it's a whole month anyway. Well, anyway, happy summer. Happy July 4th.
Giddy up, baby.
Get on with the rest of this god-awful year. Fuck Joe Biden. Let's go, Brandon.
Elwood Blues. One of my favorite blues brothers. I've got to be honest. Like, we got
and that is a perfect lead into New York City Pride. So early in the morning
we're not done yet.
We hadn't even started the whole thing. We just riffed about the segment before I even started.
You're the worst. Like you need to handle your fucking situation, John. I'm appalled, and I'm now listening.
Early in the morning of June 28, 1969, police raided the Stonewall Inn, a Greenwich Village bar that had become a staple of New York City's underground gay community. But this time, tired of ongoing raids, community members fought back, striking what would become known as the Stonewall Riots. This quote comes from NYCPride.org. In the 1960s and preceding decades, there were not welcome times for lesbians, gays, bisexual, and transgendered Americans. For instance, solicitation of same-sex relations was illegal in New York City. The LGBT individuals flocked to gay bars and clubs, places of refuge where they could express themselves openly and socialize without worry. However, the New York State Liquor Authority penalized and shut down places that served alcohol to known or suspected LGBT individuals, arguing that the mere gathering of homosexuals was, quote, disorderly.
Okay. All right. Are we being funny or being honest? Because at this point, because I feel like, John, we're doing good. Like, I know we're on the precipice of not doing good, but I feel like we're doing really good right now. So I feel like it's funny. We can still make good jokes. We're not.
Oh, there's some funny things there. Like, obviously, they got.
No, I literally am not asking for that. I'm trying to ask, hey, is this funny or is this not funny? Because we just went from not funny that is actively happening. This is still funny, but it's not happening. But it's gonna fucking gonna, John. Is it funny still? Can I still make jokes? Like tell me the punchlines that you think, and we'll go from there. You be the ha-ha man after you give me all the fucking things. Go on, John. I'm ready.
So talking about the history of NYC Pride, the Stonewall Riots. Well, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go to them. Yeah, great.
No, how about that? How about we take a breath because you didn't even hear what I said, and you're going to read more, and then you're going.
Yes, funny, man. Yes.
You're doing good. Everyone appreciates you. Here's the deal, John. I realized my own speech impediments, and I put them forward. Go ahead. Tell me about Just, it also started at 9:30, but it's continued to get weirder by 10 o'clock. Go ahead,
All right.
John.
So, with all the laws against homosexuals in America, the crime syndicate saw profit in catering to shunned gay clientele. And by the mid 60s, the Genovese crime family controlled most of Greenwich Village gay bars. In 1966, they purchased Stonewall Inn, which was a quote straight bar and restaurant, and cheaply renovated it, reopening it the next year as a gay bar.
Folks, if you like what you've heard and can't believe that this is actively still happening over a year, literally, we've been doing this a year. Not only have John's patience expanded, but mine has as well. But if you don't understand, I think you should probably click that link above. Go back, see the growth of this conglomeration. Tell your friends, tell your pastor, tell your oncologist, because John has cancer and we need all the help we can get. May God have mercy on his soul. Tell us about how the Genovese's turned Stonewall. I actively have a hard time following this. But anyway, Genovese's, my favorite crime family, and you're gonna go ahead, continue.
So they were registered the Stonewall Inn as a bottle bar, which meant that people brought their own liquor, so a liquor license was not needed. And the Genovese's bribed New York 6 precinct to ignore the activities occurring within the club.
It's horseshit. It doesn't sound Genovese's I know, John. You're casting dispersions.
Because of this, the Stonewall Inn became an important Greenwich Village institution. It was large and relatively cheap to enter. It welcomed drag queens who received a bitter reception at other gay bars and clubs, and was a nightly home for many runaways and homeless gay youths who panhandled or shoplift to afford the entry fee. But raids occurred all throughout. When police In fact, the NYPD had stormed the Stonewall Inn. They had stormed the Stonewall Inn just a few days before the rioting-induced raid, which was the morning of June 28, 1969. It came as a surprise, and the bar wasn't tipped off. So it was a huge surprise, and they were armed with a warrant. They entered the club, roughed up the patrons. They found bootlegged alcohol, arrested 13 people, including employees, and created what is now known as the Stonewall Riots.
You're so good. You're so good at what you do. Created what we now know as the Stonewall Riots. John Peacock. No, one of my favorite things is by 9:30, I get to play Russian roulette with a ginger. I don't know what he's going to do. If I take a long pause, who knows what the ginger will do? If I speak too quickly, he will go over me. If I bring a red party cup to the table, he'll bring one with two eyes that are still intact. All of these things are off-putting. All of them, to me, and my art. John. See what I did there? Rule of three. Boom. Anyway. No, all right. Yep, you're good.
On the 1 year anniversary, the first march happened on the streets of Manhattan, from Stonewall Inn to Central Park, and they called it the Christopher Street Liberation Day. It was America's first gay pride parade. The official chant was, "Say it loud, gay is proud." this obviously expanded very quickly throughout the U.S. and a couple of meaningful dates on or around Gay Pride, NY Gay Pride of June 27th. In '93, the U.S. government just passed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and the good news was that gay rights remained front and center at Capitol Hill on the streets of New York. And Christopher Street Festival was renamed Pride Fest, has been since.
Bro, I'm with you 100%, right? It's good, right? It's good. 100% good. But if take a step back, everything I do in life, I'm in no hurry. These motherfucking cadavers aren't going anywhere. I can take a step back, right?
Yeah.
Hey, don't run off. I like to say as I go get a Red Bull. John, you take a step back, take a breath. Like, okay, so why are we having a celebration about this? So, you're an actor. Should we have National Actor Celebration Day? Oh, you're a mechanic? Let's have a mechanic celebration. It's not a thing. My thing is, no, fuck you. I don't need to have a day with I have parking fucked up and I can't go through a street. I support you as a person, as a thing, but I don't want this parade or that parade or that. We are all people. Fuck yeah, you're LGBTQ plus. I'll fist fight anyone who says they don't. But if you close my street, I'm gonna have a talk with your goddamn event promoter, and we're gonna put hands on each other, and we're gonna see who closes what motherfucking street. That's
well, it's interesting you say that because you said celebration and a parade of sorts, but they very much distinguish themselves away from a parade. They are a march, and so it is a act of defiance and an act of protest, even with the celebration that occurs within it.
No, John. This is where I feel like you would be the one saying this because the legalistic motherfucker ginger I know and you. This is a march. Oh, are you on step? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but it's not a march unless you're in step.
Wait, so the Million Man March was not a march?
No, it was not a march. No.
So in 2013, they celebrated
Have you been
the fight
to,
against Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA.
No. Continue. I'm ready. I got this one locked right.
And the federal government now recognizes same-sex marriages in states where they were legal, but still the list of banning same-sex marriage was long. But in 2015, 46 years after the riot at Stonewall Inn ushered in the modern gay rights movement, the Supreme Court ruled that same-sex couples can marry nationwide. The fight continues across the nation as full protections, including housing, employment, and public accommodations, still prove elusive in many states, even with the recognition federally.
Very elusive. You know what's inclusive, John? Is South Korea when they march in unison, high stepping. John, that's inclusive, and that is a march. Right?
And that's military march, yes.
No, why has it got to be military? Marches are in sync. John, here's the deal. Step Up, Drumline, all had marches. You're upset that people don't like you of what you choose in life. And I'm not saying I don't support it, but people don't like what I do in life either. And I don't march. I fucking parade and I walk. I fucking protest and I yell. I don't march. Marching has an annotation, has a fucking that is specific to we are. Okay, fuck you, John. Okay, fuck you. He's talking about that we're organized and we have one leader telling us something. All right, we're marching. Fuck you, John. With the English language gets the best of you. Hey, folks, if you like what you're hearing, if you can't believe that people don't support these motherfuckers, I can't either. I'll be honest. No one knows. No one will. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, find your favorite ginger and hold tight because it's going to be a rocky ride.
So 2019 was pretty great because New York and the world celebrated the largest international pride celebration in history. It was Stonewall 50, and it was also World Pride.
Stonewall 50. So
50th anniversary of Stonewall.
Right?
Yep.
No,
and World Pride, maybe we should give a little bit about that.
Yeah, maybe you should give a little about that, John, because you're just pontificating. We need to know things.
World Pride is the international organization that has had, mostly through Europe and South America, a hosting city every year. The first U.S. City ever to host World Pride was New York City in 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
No, New York shouldn't have taken 2019. It should have been New York. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, obviously they were connecting it to Stonewall 50, so they saw the historical significance.
Right.
Apparently it was good enough for them.
Let's pull in this group because we've been capitalizing for media sensation on what Pride is. But now 50, so we're going to get these guys, and they'll host it because that will be a big pull. Man, fuck that shit. Here's the deal, John. I just realized that Hasbro has a YouTube channel and they play 24 hours of G.I. Joe from the 80s. All the time, all the days, all the Joes. John, I want to let you know that knowing is half the battle. That's all I got from
it. So there was a scare of active shooters both in New York and in San Francisco. I'm sure you heard about it this year.
Yeah, and then they shot a bunch of people, and then we saw the news about all the people died. So you're talking recently that there's been so many shootings in San Francisco and New York. So, John, you say, I'm sure you've heard about it. Yeah, man. You want to name the victims, or are you going to talk about hammer strikes?
They were just so in New York specifically. There were no active shooters. It was a fear that caused a couple of mass panics that caused a stampede.
There were no active shooters. You're an idiot.
No. Washington Square Park, some fireworks went off, and people thought it was gunshots and fled, trampling over each other.
No, that's good. John, you're doing good in expressing your emotions and seeing how people like you said, there's been no active shooters in New York. No, motherfucker. I'll give you all of them and their dates and the perpetrators. And you're like, no, there wasn't. It was fireworks and the thing. Like, you need to either stop having the pregnant pauses and get through the active sentence of no active shooters and blah, 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 blah. Literally eat your fucking tail to get to that point, or say, everybody stop your thoughts and processes. I'm going to say something. So if you read from a goddamn ginger script, we're all going to get ginger thoughts, John. We're all going to get ginger thoughts.
In response, the New York City police said on Twitter there were no shots fired at Washington Square Park, and they also told the AP there were no serious injuries from the stampede.
Right, and here's the deal. My whole thing, not only in a societal thought process, but as a friendship thought process, when I come to your house, if there are reports of shots fired, there will be fucking casualties, and there will be stampede problems, John. I hope your third floor neighbors are ready for what is about to happen. Two-sided pod at Gmail.
Sources for this episode of Two Sided have been the first segment, Congress.gov, SupremeCourt.gov, ConcordMonitor.com, CNN, The Washington Times, NYBooks.com, and The Daily Beast. Second segment, NYCPride.org, History.com, Wikipedia, The Washington Post, and Times of Israel.
My sources for this episode have been a red Solo cup full of booze that I keep refilling because I'm a goddamn animal. Also, marijuana weed. Thanks, marijuana weed. You keep us true and straight. Also, don't be afraid to watch our podcasts. Nope, that's not the time. That's what we're brought to you by.
Hey, speaking of not the time, my boy Pete, is there anything from this episode that you'd like to take a second look at, a second glance, a second opinion? This is Pete's Retraction Corner.
Oh, God. Oh, so much. Oh, John. I've been waiting for this because a lot of the things I've said have been so perfectly right on. Like, actively, specifically, like, oh my God, like, am I educating people? Should this be a TED Talk? It should be a TED Talk. And what I regret is that I don't have a TED Talk, John. You think I'm going to go deep with this? You're sitting back waiting for me to pontificate. You're not even ready on fucking thing.
It was so in for the long haul.
You think that you know me, that I might just go anywhere and everywhere, that you can lean back and think, oh, the world's my oyster, and I am no longer allergic to shellfish. Shorefish? Shellfish. Fuck. Shit. Anyway, John?
We got a message from Mindfox.
Since we still technically barely still in Pride Month, can somebody answer me one question?
Yes.
What the hell is a queer?
Oh.
Isn't that another name for gay?
No.
Is it really something separate?
Isn't gay happy?
You guys.
I need, yeah, isn't gay just happy?
No.
How did they get to steal that motherfucking word? Why isn't it H? You know, for homosexual.
Bro.
But for real. What is queer?
For real, I'm sending you flags. Like, I will pay the 22 because it was all the flags are free. They're all free, but you have to pay the $22 shipping. I was like, I can get all the flags, literally all of them. Like, my neighbors will be very upset when I hang these motherfuckers all over the place. It's for shade. Fuck off. But, bro,
Cover the entire porch.
You have no idea. It's one shipping cost. As many as you want. All of them for $22. If I have to ship to Mindfox to let them know what queer is, my man, you're going to get a flag, brother. You're going to get flagged. I'm not here to educate. I'm here to propagate.
You want to do a shot and get out of here?
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm not sure where you're at in life, but yeah, I'm actively have a shot board, and I think that
I felt you had a good answer to it. I also have an answer, of what is queer, if you want to differentiate between gay. I mean, gay is defined specifically as men who are
correct
attracted to men exclusively. So bisexual wouldn't be considered gay. right?
That's
Lesbian
gay.
is not gay.
Queer, queer is the Venn diagram, John,
Yep.
of continue. So gay is the men, lesbian, and you can use words of different things, but
Right, but
queer.
it's more of the Kinsey scale understanding that it is not just a binary. It's not just one or the other, and so the ones in between who have a gay predilection but are not gay just because they don't exclusively are attracted to their own gender is queer.
Perceived gender, perceived,
Right.
and that's been the hardest time. Like, because I've thought about all this stuff of the gender things. I look at it as being in court, honestly. So like, no, sir. But the plaintiff has, well, specifically, allegedly, that everything is, when you look at gender, is like, oh, John is this, I am this, we are this, people are this, you are this, Mindfox is this. Everything you throw out, like, okay, bro, we throw 100%. Yeah. It's like, allegedly, all right, you know what? Okay, fuck off. Yes, because allegedly is true.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. Like, no, it is, we are what we are. Everyone is who they are. Everyone be what they be, right?
And what I feel you're talking about is it's out of our own ignorance and or just like perception and not knowing. Like, oh yeah, I just assume.
Perception.
Right.
Perception. Right. It's you don't have the understanding or vocabulary of the things that you are, because you have all the information, but you don't have the understanding of what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why if you email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com, it's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com, I will send you all the flags you need. All of the flags. You can look them up. You can see. Like, there was ones I was laughing, bro, that's hilarious. I looked it up. It's not a joke. That's people. That's funny. That's not, no. Pansexual. They have a whole fucking flag. Like, and every single thing has a flag, bro. And some pretty fucking cool flags. And some like, no. There's a cat. There's Express, or like I don't even know what it was, but it was all the colors of all the flags, all the things, you know, a little rainbow, and a cat with sunglasses with a fucking giving the middle finger. Like, yeah, I want that. Because yeah, fuck you, and yeah, fucking cats are pretty okay. Let's fucking party. So
to just a quick response of what you're talking about with the perception, I feel my favorite phrase to go into things with other people, especially, but just in general, is I don't know. I got a lot of ideas, got a lot of opinions, and I got a lot of thoughts, but I don't know. And
that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, John. Because I go into it like the Great Race, where now give me a little fighting room, and I try to swing for the fences in a lot of fisticuffs and elbows. So I think that's why we're good for each other.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show live on stereo every Tuesday, same time as tonight. So if you want to join us or want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And remember to join us on stereo in the green room right now at 30 after the hour in about 5 minutes for our after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm Michael Pete, the god of everything good and pure in Southern California.
And this was our show. You can listen to our shows wherever you get your podcasts, and you can also join us live on our YouTube channel, Two Sided Podcast, and also on the Stereo app every Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the fun and the serious, here on Two Sided. This is fun. Love you, Pete.
Yeah, I don't know if it's fun, John, but I'm a fan of you. You ginger fuck. Actively, it feels like it's a million years when